Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Find, where we show you something you might have missed on Ancestry.com in 5 minutes or less. Today, we're going to show you how to look at census records and understand the wealth of your family. It's a 3-step process. First, identify census records which tell you about money and property. Second, record your findings. And 3, summarize. Let's review the census records. You don't have to take notes. At the end of this video, I'll send you to a blog posting with the information. In 1850, you can find real estate. 1860, real estate and personal property. The same is true in 1870. In 1880, there's really nothing to look at. In 1900, 1910, and 1920, we find out whether the home was owned or rented and whether it was mortgaged. In 1900 and 1910, we find out whether it was a farm. In 1930, we also find out the value of the home, or if it was rented, how much it was rented for. And in 1940, we find information out about wages. Understanding information is all about organization. So I've created a spreadsheet, which I'll share with you at the end of the video, to help you organize the information that you find. Let's work through a few examples. This first one is about my ancestor Reddy Cash. He was born in 1799 and he died in 1886. So I'll want to look at 1850, 1860, and 1870. In 1850, he had no value recorded for real estate, so I'll enter that he did not own a house and it had no value. In 1860, we see that Reddy still has no real estate and $100 worth of personal property value. So I update my spreadsheet with the real estate and personal property information. In 1870, we find that Reddy now has $3,000 worth of real estate and still $100 worth of personal property. So I now update my spreadsheet. So what does this tell us? We know Reddy probably first purchased land between 1860 and 1870. So we should go look for a deed. Why had he never owned land before? And where did he come up with $3,000 in the years when the Civil War was going on? Now we have more questions. And this proves once again that once you find new information, you just have more questions and the search continues. Let's try a 1900s example. Wyatt Gillespie was born in 1866 and died in 1941, so we'll look for him in 1900 through 1940. In 1900, we find he rented a house, so we update our spreadsheet. In 1910, he now owns a house and it's free of mortgage. Again, we update our spreadsheet. In 1920, he still owns it and it's still free of mortgage. Information into the spreadsheet. 1930 tells us not only did he own his house, but it was worth $2,000. We update the spreadsheet. 1940 tells us not only did he still own his house, which is worth $2,000, but he's not working for a living. It appears his 2 daughters are, though, and they're both earning money. You may want to keep a separate spreadsheet for each person, or keep one for the entire family. Since families usually live in one household, I put them all in one spreadsheet. So what have we learned about Wyatt? We know that he probably bought a house between 1900 and 1910. Between 1930 and 1940 it was worth $2,000, and he didn't lose his house in the Great Depression. However, he did stop working, and it looks like he depended on his daughters to keep him going. So by organizing data about your ancestors in different ways, you might learn something new about their lives. First, identify the census records the information is in, record your findings, and then summarize, and then add it to your tree. You'll find a URL that will take you to a blog post that will give you the spreadsheet and the description of the census records so you don't have to recreate it yourself. This has been 5-Minute Find on Ancestry.com with Ann Mitchell. Happy searching!